Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm back. I'm going to do a quick video because one of the sisters asked me in the comments on the other video about what happened when I wore hijab to work for the first time. And I'm going to talk about work a little. A lot of people say they have a big jihad with hijab, right? And I really haven't had that issue. Maybe because I'm a little older and I've always been kind of a different drummer person and never much cared about what people thought. So it really hasn't been much of a struggle for me. The biggest struggle for me with hijab has been the heat. So I'm a person that actually likes to be hot, and I don't like air conditioning, but you know, being that I live in a hot climate, I'm like, turn the air on, it's so hot. I wasn't that nervous about wearing it to work. I was excited, and I'm not going to say I wasn't nervous at all. I was a little bit nervous, like, I don't know what they're going to say. But it was a government office, and it was it was a contract position, so I wasn't sure how they would take it. Plus, I just decided to do it. I just jumped in, and I didn't talk to my boss first or prepare anybody. When I was ready to do it, I did it. I think I did it on that Saturday, like I said in the video. So, or it might have been Sunday, I don't know. Monday, I just went to work, and when I went to take the train to work, there were some people looking at me kind of funny. Maybe they recognized me from, you know, other times, but they were looking like, oh. But nothing strange. When I got to work, people were like, oh, And one girl came up to me and she said, I didn't know you were Muslim. And I said, yeah. And she said, oh, okay, that's cool. And then another lady came up to me in the bathroom and said, oh, I'm Muslim too. Are you fasting? Because it was Ramadan by then. Brought on the conversation of people not knowing you were Muslim, and then, you know. But everybody was pretty cool about it. I didn't have any real issue at work. One of the upper management came and was saying to me, she would always be kind of friendly, and she was like, oh, yeah, are you fasting for Ramadan? And I was like, yeah. She knew it was Ramadan, and she was like, okay, so if you get upset with people, then we'll know what it's about. And I said, no, if I get upset with people, then I'm breaking my fast anyway, so I should be the same. She was like, oh, okay, no problem. And I had to go to another office sometimes to work, like once a week, so they were kind of like, oh, someone finally said, well, how come you keep having your head wrapped up a little bit when you come in? I'm like, oh, I'm Muslim. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Pretty good reaction. No issues. The strange thing that happened was, though, and let me preface this by saying, I was engaged at this point, and I was going to get married, and I was moving away. But I hadn't told them yet because my job was very, very busy and very crazy, and I really felt bad for my team because I was in a very busy team at work, and it was going to be really hard for them when I left, if any of us left, because if somebody had to be gone sick for a day, it was a mess. So I was really trying to decide when I should tell them, because they were going to be freaked out, and I wanted to offer to get things, you know, all in order before we went, because truthfully, the job, we were like drowning in this new contract, and the group that I was in, and had just changed management for it was a whole mess. So I didn't know when to tell them, and then I was kind of freaked out about, will I be able to get a job when I get to my new city? The wedding was coming up soon. It was all, I just converted, it was just a lot. So we had a death in the family, actually, and my mom said we needed to go to Alabama for the funeral, but it was short notice. You know, we ended up driving, so that was a long drive from Chicago. So we drove to Alabama, and she was like, we need to stay an extra day because I'm not going to be able to drive back in time. And I was like, I can't take another day off because my job is so crazy. I didn't want to give this time. And it's not immediate family, so I ended up having to call from the road and say that I wasn't going to be able to come in, which is like, you know, calling in, whatever. And they were, like I said, we were swamped. So I was like, okay, fine. But, you know, you got to obey your parents, right? So when I got back to Chicago, I came to work, and there was a new girl, and I was like, oh, thank you, I'm so glad to see you, we really need extra help. And she was like, okay. Sure enough, they pulled me into the office and said, we have to let you go. You're not keeping up with the work, and then you called off. So I was so happy. I was like, alhamdulillah, because I was just about to tell them I was quitting. Maybe the next week I had decided I was going to tell them then, because I didn't know how long I wanted to work before the wedding. It was a lot going on. Plus that meant I'd be able to get unemployment. So it was a big blessing. One of my coworkers, they were like, "You're so good at it. You actually care about the clients. You know, we can't." I was like, I wasn't keeping up, truth be told. So I cannot say it was hijab that got me fired. Although one of my friends said she thinks it was the scarf, but I don't think so. I wasn't keeping up. Truth be told, none of us were. But I've never been that great at like office jobs anyway. I do a good job. I care about the people. You know, I do my work. But I think anybody around can tell that I'm a creative person. I was a professional dancer, so on the side. So I think you can tell that I'm not as invested as some people are in the job. I'm going to come to work. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to give good customer service. I'm going to care about the team. But I've never felt that kind of, you know, I need this job. I have to be here. This is sustaining. I never felt that way before, but as I became more spiritual, I really didn't feel that way, because Allah sustains me. Like, the job doesn't take the job, leave the job. I don't care. I'm going to do my best while I'm there, but that job doesn't own me, you know. So, the problem with that is people can see that, and people want you, and rightfully so, they want you to be very dedicated to it. And I think the fact that I don't get freaked out like about certain things on a job that a lot of people would, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm still going to work for it, but you're not going to see me sweat. If I freak out, I'm going to freak all the way out. So I seldom do that. So it's been an issue before. So I'm not going to say that it was hijab that got me fired. It might have added to it. I don't know. I like to think that it wouldn't. I really want to believe that people don't really think that way, especially in a government office. If it's a private business and it's a, you know, small family-owned company and they're just uncomfortable with you being a Muslim, then maybe. But I really want to believe that people are good. Hope we can't hear the ice cream truck. The people are good deep down, and they don't really think that way. But I may be wrong. Maybe it was hijab that got me fired. But like I said, it was a blessing, because I was moving, I was getting married, and I was able to get unemployment. But even if I wasn't able to get unemployment, even if all those things weren't happening, it was still a blessing, right? Alhamdulillah, no matter what. So even if I had 8 children to feed, and no unemployment, and no whatever, and I got fired, you still have to say alhamdulillah, right? Because Allah will provide a way anyway. So that said, and now I'm here. I'm not teaching dance right now, and I'm not sure if I will. I'll get into that in another video, inshallah. But I'm trying to decide like what kind of job to take. And because I've been so focused on dance, I don't necessarily have a career path. I'm very educated. I have an advanced degree, but in business, and then undergraduate in communications and PR. But I haven't really worked in a lot of these fields, because any job I've had has just been, in my mind, a side job to pay for dance, so that I could focus on dance. So now I don't know if I'll end up teaching dance or fitness or something along those lines, but I've been taking, like, I took a career assessment, and it said what I thought it would say. I'm a creative person. The workspace is more important to me than actually what I do. I have to be free. It has to be open. So, but it's just so open. It wasn't like, you know, some people take a test and it's like, you're an accountant. No. I take a test and it's like, you could do anything as long as it's free and fun and open, and you make the rules and you're not tied down. But I'm like, oh. So a lot of things, teacher comes up a lot. Teacher of all types of things. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Open to suggestions. I'm trying to figure out something to do before I get pregnant, because when I get pregnant, inshallah, then I doubt I'll be starting a new career right then. Anyway, make dua for me, and I'll do the same for you, inshallah. But don't worry about wearing hijab to work. If you're a good worker and you do a good job and you make it so that you're a real asset to that company and they can't do without you, I really doubt that they're going to fire you because of hijab. I would suggest, though, that you talk to your boss ahead of time, if you can. If you know you're thinking about it, talk to them ahead of time and let them know, you know, your reasons, and they'll probably be more open to it than doing like I did. I just sprung it on them. Or even if you decide this morning, that's it, I'm doing it. And I don't say you should wait to do it. Then go ahead and do it, but you know, go talk to your boss first thing or something. Or yeah. Anyway, because you know, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, Allah will make a way for you. That's the way it is. Alright, assalamu alaikum. Have a great day. Be blessed.